There's somebody.
Did you see what I did today?
I suppose so.
And then I emailed you my quiz. I had computer problems almost all week. So I finally got a chance to connect to some real internet
Yeah.
to get it turned in.
All right.
So I apologize if it's working right.
What's your last name, just so I can make sure it's in here?
Biddle, B-I-D-D-L-E. And if I need to read.
Yeah, there it is. Cool. Okay. So today I want to go over the quiz. All right. So number 1 says consider the following relation. And it gives us negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 2x minus 5y. And it says, first of all, rewrite the relation as a function of x. And I gave the hint that is put it in f of x equals mx plus b form. Okay? So really what we need to do here is we need to get y by itself. If it's a relation as a function of x, that means that x is the only thing that's actually making anything dependent upon it. So it's going to be the thing that's actually in the function part of the function. So let's solve this and get y by itself. So let's see. Well, first of all, I can put the x's and y's together. So I can do something like plus 2x and minus 5y. Okay, so those will cancel there. But that will leave us with a single negative x on this side. And over here, that'll give me negative 10y. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get y by itself by taking that 10 off of it. So I'm going to divide by negative 10 on both sides. And that gives me y is equal to negative x over negative 10. Well, really, that would be x over 10. Or you could say 1 over 10x. So as a fully formed function, we would write this as f of x, to replace that y, is equal to 1 over 10 times x. You might be asking, well, you said y equals mx plus b form. Where's the b? Well, it's right here, plus 0. But do we really need to have plus 0? Nah. So this is what we're looking for. Any questions? All right. So next it wants us to evaluate where the function is x equals negative 3. So we have f of x, f of negative 3 is equal to 1 over 10 times x, which is, like we said, negative 3. Now if we multiply 1/10 times negative 3, we get negative 3 over 10. So f of negative 3 is that negative 3 over 10. And there we go. Any questions? All right. Next says consider the following equation. And it gives us 5x plus 7y equals 18. Okay. So first, express the given equation in slope-intercept form. Remember, that means y equals mx plus b. Okay? So, once again, we need to get y by itself. We need to solve for y. Well, I see that I've got this 5x here. I can subtract that. And now we'll have 7x is equal to negative 5x plus... Excuse me?
7y.
Oh, thank you. 7y minus 5x plus 18. And only one step left, and that is to divide by 7 on both sides. So we get y equals, let's see, negative 5x over 7 plus 18 over 7. And yeah, that's about it for that one. Of course, you could rewrite this a different way. You could write it as f of x equals negative 5 over 7 times x plus 18 over 7. And that would be a little bit closer to looking like that y equals mx plus b form. But I would accept either of these forms. In fact, you gave me this one. But I'll accept either of them. Any questions? Okay, well that's all that one wanted us to do. Number 3, let's see. Number 3 says find the linear function with the following properties. And it gives us f of 0 is equal to negative 1 and a slope, I'm going to call m, of negative 7. Okay. So it's given us two things. It's given us a point and a slope, which we could say, all right, I need to go to point slope form and plug things in and solve. However, the point that it gives us is actually a y-intercept. Because x equals 0, anywhere that x equals 0, we have just y. So this is a y-intercept. So what we can say then is that we have y equals m, negative 7, x plus b is the y-intercept, so plus negative 1. Well, I mean, don't really need those parentheses then, do we? Negative 7x minus 1. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So yeah, it gave us a point, but it was actually the y-intercept. The next one, though, says find the linear function with the following properties. But it doesn't give us a y-intercept. It gives us the point f of 10 is equal to 9. And then m is equal to 5/4. Okay, so we can't just plug that in to our function and have it. We've actually got to solve some things here. So again, it gives us a point and a slope, which means we need to use point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so we can plug these in now. Remember that this is our point, so this is our x1 and y1. So plug everything in. We got y minus y1 is 9 equals m, which is 5/4, times x minus x1 is 10. So now we need to simplify anywhere that we can, and that will give us our function. So we'll multiply 5/4 times both of these numbers distributed in there. We get 5 over 4x minus, let's see, 10 times 5, that's 50. 50 divided by 4 is drawing a blank all of a sudden.
12.5.
Yeah, 12.5. Now, could you put 12.5 here? Absolutely. If you put 12.5 here, that's fine. I don't mind. Okay, in fact, it might actually be more useful to have 12.5 here in this case because we still need to add that 9 to both sides. Now me, I like fractions. I'm going to keep it as a fraction. Okay, so that's going to be 50 over 4, which can be reduced to 25 over 2. Okay, so now we can add that y to both sides. Well, in order to add 9 to 25 over 2, this is also going to have to be over 2. So negative 25 over 2 plus 18 over 2. And 18 because I'm multiplying that by 2 to get it over 2. And let's see here. So 25 minus 18, because this is negative and this is positive, is going to give us 7. So we get 7 over 2, meaning that we have y equals negative 5 over 4x minus 7 over 2. Again, you could have used 12.5. That'd been fine. If you did, 12.5 and 9 have a difference of 3.5, so this would be 3.5 right here. Any questions? All right, let's keep going. Oh, you did 7 over 2, good.
Oh, what?
You did it. You did 7 over 2.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, find the linear function with the following properties. And it gives us, this time, just 2 points. F of negative 6 is equal to negative 4, and F of negative 4 is equal to 6. So this time it hasn't given us any kind of slope, it's just 2 points. So the first thing we're going to need to do is find a slope. And we can do that with our slope equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's designate which one of these is our first point and our second point. I'll call this one the first one, and this one the second one. Which means that this is my x1, and this is my y1, this is my x2, and this is my y2. So I'll just plug those numbers in here. M equals, let's see, y2 we said is 6, minus, let's see, y1 is negative 4, over x2 is negative 4 minus x1 is negative 6. Okay, so first we're going to have to play with signs a little bit. 6 minus negative 4, that's really 6 plus 4. So 10. And then on the bottom here we have negative 4 minus negative 6. So minus negative, once again, that's plus. So negative 4 plus 6, that's positive 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we end up with a slope of 5. But that's not what we're looking for. We are looking for a function. So now that we have a slope, And we have 2 points. We can just choose either of these 2 points and put it into point slope form. So I'm going to say y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We plug things in, so y minus y1 we said was -4 equals m, we know is 5, times x minus x1 we know is -6. Okay, so multiply. We get 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times -6. Well, negative is positive, so this is really 5 times +6, so that's 30. Over here, -4 is +4, so we have y plus 4. Okay, so now we can do a -4 to both sides. Whoops, -4. And we get y equals 5x. Let's see, 30 minus 4, that's 26. So plus 26. And there's our function. We just need to put it in f of x form. Any questions? None? Make sense? Good. Next. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, when I did it, I had a brainstorm all over it.
Okay, 6. We have f of -2 is equal to 7. And g of -2 is equal to 9. Now what it wants us to do is to find f plus g, f minus g, f times g, and f over g. All where we have, for instance, f plus g at -2. Now because it's asking for f plus g at -2, we can just take these things that are also at -2 and add them. So f plus g at -2, we'll just say, all right, well that's 7 and 9, so we'll add 7 and 9. And what do we get? I'm asking you actually.
15 or 16?
16.
16, yeah.
And that's all it's asking there. So like for step 2, f minus g, this means f minus g, so 7 minus 9, it's going to be what? -2, yeah. Okay, one more, f times g, so 7 times 9, 63. One more, f over g.
That one's a decimal form, right?
You can put it as a fraction if you want. So it's just,
Oh, 7
yeah.
I was like, I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. One of those days.
All right, I'll give you some points back on that one, since you did the working class. Okay. So yeah, when we have something like this where we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, whatever, as long as these are both at the same x value, you know, you can just do plus, minus, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Find a formula for the inverse of the following function. And it gives us k of x is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 5. Okay? So once again, it wants us to find the inverse function. This means that we need to flip x and y. Well, first of all, let's change k of x into y. Okay. But again, like we've seen on, I think that was Monday, if we change x and y, we get an inverse function. So let's go ahead and do that. X now equals negative 3 over 2y plus 5. And now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for y for this new function. Well, the first thing I see here that's giving me problems is that fraction. My y is in the bottom of that fraction. I don't want that. So to get rid of this fraction, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply both sides by 2y plus 5. Get rid of that fraction. So now, if I cancel that, I have x times 2y plus 5 equals negative 3. Well, now I have a new problem. That's that x and y are on the same side. But it's pretty easily fixed. I just divide both sides by x. And that gives me 2y plus 5 equals negative 3 over x. Okay. So just a little more that we need to do here. Subtract 5 from both sides to get 2y is equal to negative 3 over x minus 5. And lastly, we can divide by 2. Let's see, that'll give us y equals negative 3 over 2x minus 5 over 2. Do you see how that works? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's it. There's our inverse function. Of course, if we want to be proper about this, we would say that this is really k to the negative 1 of x is equal to negative 3 over 2x minus 5 over 2. Because we need to write it as an inverse function. Any questions? All right. Then we are on to the last one. We've got s of x is equal to x minus 5 over 8. Okay. So once again, what it wants us to do is find an inverse function for this, if it has an inverse function. Like we saw on Monday, some things have something that looks like an inverse function, but it's not truly a function. Well, this one should be fine. We've got x to the first, and x is not on the bottom of the fraction, so nothing crazy going on. And even if x were on the bottom of a fraction, it'd be fine. Okay, so just like the previous one, the first thing we want to do is change this into a y. Basically makes it easier to write. Okay. So now, once again, we flip x and y. X equals y minus 5 over 8. And we solve to get y by itself. Well, just like the last one, I've got another fraction here. I want to get rid of that fraction, so I'll multiply both sides by 8. That gives me 8x equals y minus 5. Well, to get y by itself, you just need to add 5 to both sides. And we get y equals 8x plus 5. Of course, we really ought to write that as an inverse, so s to the negative 1 of x is equal to 8x plus 5. So yeah, this does have an inverse function. Nothing freaky's going on here that's making it weird. Okay, any questions? None? All right. So, that is last quiz. Looking forward a little bit, next week is the last week of class. Now remember that we have Monday and Wednesday that we'll meet, and then your Tuesday, Thursday classes, you're only going to be meeting Tuesday. So Thursday is a dead day, just use that day to study, okay? Then Friday is the first day of finals, and that's when my final will be going out through email. I want that final back before Monday. Monday will be the final day that I accept them. Tuesday is a cutoff. I will not be accepting any exams on Tuesday, but I will accept them on Monday. Okay, so next week what we're going to be doing is reviewing, and I will issue a review for us to do. And we're going to be doing that review in class Monday and Wednesday. Sound good? All right. Well, I think that'll do it for today. I'll see you Monday. And let's hope we do well on the final.